Hello and welcome. How to trade with the true insiders legally. First, a bit of an introduction. This course will teach you how to trade stocks profitably and legally using declared insider information and this is something we'll come on to more shortly, and timing those trades appropriately. As you're about to find out, it's not enough just to know who the insiders are and what they're trading. We want to make sure we're timed just right for the biggest movement in price. Now, there's going to be different levels of experience and knowledge of different people looking at this. So I'm coming into this for the point of view of, look, I'm just going to assume everyone is a beginner. So please, excuse me if I get very basic, and just treat it as a revision, looking at things differently. If you know some of this stuff already. So what will you need? All you'll need is a computer with the internet and the 2 free tools that I'll demonstrate for you, plus obviously a regular trading account, nothing fancy, with funds to trade with, and I'll talk about how much funds you might want to trade with shortly. And if after the course you'd like me to make the stock picks for you using these techniques, I'll give you details at the end. Quick disclaimer, no personalized financial advice is being given. Right, let's get going. The name of the game. What is the name of the game? Well, making money, of course. I mean, I don't want to sound flippant by saying that, but all too often traders lose sight of this and they get bogged down in the weeds, down the rabbit holes with information overload, and they lose sight of what are they actually trying to do. And some people, unfortunately, they just want to sound clever and cool and use all kind of technical terms so they can impress their friends and so on. That's fine if that's what turns you on, but it's about making money, and we want to make that as easy, as simple, fast as possible. So it's about making money the easiest, fastest, most dependable way possible, and that's all we're looking at here. If I want to get a job done, I want the fastest tools I can have and still have the best job. It serves me no purpose to be able to say, well, I got the result I wanted by using fancy terminology and this complex stuff that nobody else can understand. I mean, who cares? It's about making money, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do here. So many ways to make money, of course, and all we're saying is that stocks just happen to be our chosen tool in this particular course. And making money, of course, that means not losing money. And again, that may sound obvious, but this is a thing that traders all too often lose sight of, right? It's about not losing money. You see, so when we're talking about following the legal insider trading, which is what this course is about, we're talking about the what. What stock should I trade? Out of the tens of thousands of stocks out there, well, what stock should I trade? So, and it's a great starting point, which I'll talk about more in a second. But the when to trade that stock is even more important than the what, as you'll see. Okay? This is what's going to mean you don't lose money. Think about this for a second. A 50% loss, which some people they go and just sit on a 50% loss or more and just sit there. But if you take that much loss, you need 100% gain from there just to get your capital back. Think about that for a second. And 100% gain, any experienced stock trader will tell you is that's not that easy, unless of course you're doing it right the way I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to set up the trade to ensure a worst case scenario of no more than 10%. We'll see how in just a second, but that is how we're going to protect from losses and manage the downside and let the upside take care of itself. Okay, so the losers we want to be as infrequent as possible, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But when they do lose, we want it to be small. We want to lose small and win big with upsides of 100%, 1,000% or more. And that's the great thing about trading the way I'm going to show you here. So, by being here on this course, you no doubt suspect this already to be true, that information is power. out of these tens of thousands of stocks, how would we know? How would we pick which one to buy? So an important point we're going to make here, and this again is a bit of a bombshell for some people, especially if they're just starting out in trading. We may think, well, we're looking at insider information, so we're making a prediction here about what's going to go up. But one thing I'll explain shortly is that insiders are not traders. So this is a really important point about trading in general, not just insider trading, is that we are not making predictions. We are not making predictions. All we are doing is we're playing a game with the best odds we can find. You see, nobody truly knows what's going to happen to the price of a stock. Insiders are the closest thing you can get to knowing something's probably going to happen, but even they don't know when and how. So we're just trying to find the best information we can get and play the best odds we can find. We're not saying this is definitely going to happen. What we're saying is this looks likely to happen. And if I'm wrong, then we're not going to lose very much. That's the name of the game. And that means, of course, finding good information to start with. And who has the best information? Well, you wouldn't be if you don't know the answer to this question. Insiders, of course, right? I mean, who else is going to know this kind of stuff, right? Other than them, nobody really knows what can happen to a stock price. They're on the inside. They have the privileged information. They know if profits have gone well. They know if they're just about to win an FDA approval for a drug that's going to send the price skyrocketing. Of course, it has to be the insiders, right? Nobody knows anything apart from them. And I say in theory because, well, whispers here, whispers there. As you'll see, if you've been doing this long enough, you'll see that information clearly does get leaked out to a few other privileged people just before a big announcement. But that's not here or to talk about that too much here. So, recap for beginners. What is insider trading, the legal version and the illegal version? Okay. So it's illegal to trade with privileged information, the sort of thing that insiders know about, that they have, right? If they get caught insider trading, acting on this privileged knowledge that only they have, they can and will go to jail. And this most famous case, recent history, is one of, you might remember, Martha Stewart. And in fact, it's interesting, Martha Stewart didn't go to jail for insider trading. She went to jail for lying to federal agents. So it's hard for the feds to prove that this is going on, but it does go on all the time. Only if they're really, really silly, usually, do they actually go to jail for it. So that would be illegal trading. Legal insider trading is what we're doing here. We don't have access to this privileged information. What we're acting on is public records. The sort of things I'm going to show you is legally open to the public, because as you'll see, these insiders have to declare what they're buying and selling at any given time. So don't worry, you and I are completely safe. We're doing things the legal way. It's them that are running the gauntlet and driven by greed. And they fill out what's called a Form 4. And as we'll see, that gets posted to notify everyone. So it's what the SEC therefore considers as fair, or the closest thing they'll ever get to it anyway.